Well, here we are guys, the McFarlane Space Marines Artist Proof. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about this one. So here we have him in his plastic prison. Front and back of the box, pretty standard fare, not much on there to talk about really, so let's get him out of the packaging and have a look. And here we are, out of his plastic prison. And doesn't it look belting? So what's in the box then? The star of the show, the Marine himself, and it does come with a round, small plastic base, his bolt gun, and of course, his power pack. Now, these are very high quality casts, I have no problem with them. There is some flash on there. The figure himself, absolutely fantastic at first sight, I'm not going to complain at all. It's got a great weight and a heft to it, absolutely great stuff. The sculpt is dead on. Only thing you've got to do is attach the backpack and it just snaps in. It comes off easy enough, so if you do want to take it off later, that's not a problem. Now, getting this gun into his hand, I am not looking forward to this. It's a little bit of a chore, guys. Just go slow, and ideally, if you've got one at hand, use an airdryer just to heat up that plastic a little bit. Not too close, just to make the fingers a little bit more pliable, especially if you are going to paint this, it'll make it a lot easier. Right, let's talk about articulation then. This guy's chock full of it. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. So the arm moves in and out, it's on a standard ball joint, the pauldron moves a little bit. Got a bi-swept swivel, double jointed elbow, a little bit of movement on the wrist as well. This is a fixed posed hand and you don't get any additional ones. His other hand is obviously his gun shooting hand. The legs move forward a good deal, backwards a reasonable amount. To the side, not so much, you ain't going to be doing the splits. We've got a waist rotation, and we do have an ab crunch. Now, his ankles do rock, not a great deal due to the sculpt, and there is a little bit of backwards and forwards tilt. Double jointed knee, as with the elbow. Got a good range of movement on him, and his head is on a rocking plate and also on a ball joint. Now, as to be expected, the posability is limited when you compare it to some of the other figures out there on the market. However, for the sculpt, I think it's alright. It doesn't do too bad. You can get into some reasonable poses, and with that standing plate that comes in the box, I've not unpackaged mine, you're going to be able to get some fairly cool poses. And of course, there's always the scope for modification if you want to. What did I think overall then? Well, I think for the price point, this is a really reasonable figure. It's heavy, it's got a good weight to it, and it feels like a Space Marine, as odd as that may sound. Now, one thing I didn't mention is these shoulder pads. They're made of a softer plastic and they do pop off. That's going to make painting this bad boy a little bit easier. It's simply just on a ball joint, you can just pull it off and it's a floating joint. Now, there's not much movement in there and it does hinder the posability, but really, what do you expect at this price point? I think for what it is, it's cracking. What do you guys think? Would you like to see me paint a couple of these up? Let me know down in the comments and I'm sure we can see what we can do. Well, here we are then, a couple final shots of this guy. I'm really impressed. If you can find this guy on the shelves at a good price, I definitely recommend you pick one up. Okay guys, so what do you think? More important, what did I think of this guy? Is it worth the money? I think it is. If you can pick up this for 20 quid, 25 quid, absolutely fantastic. Would I pay more for it? With the amount of posability, probably not, if I'm absolutely honest. However, that said, it is a really great sculpt, really great figure. It is an upscaled Primaris Space Marine. It's exactly what I wanted. I can do with this as I want, and I'm going to paint it obviously as a Dark Angel. I'm going to paint all of the ones that I've picked up as Dark Angels, as you might expect. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to use it as a reference model, kind of just for all of the colours, basically, that I want to pick up and paint my Marines as. So I'm going to be painting 3 of these, a standard green wing. Maybe I'll do 6 actually, because I'm doing 6. I don't know. I've got enough. Maybe I'll do 3, maybe I'll do 6, maybe I will do an entire squad of them. I don't know. Yeah, the posability is not all it could have been. I would have liked to see a lot more posability in the legs, but I totally understand why there's not, like I said in the review. But it is what it is, and I think with the base plate that's included in the box for standing it up, you can get some pretty good poses. I would have liked to see butterfly joints across the chest, That does limit the posability of this, but again, that would have impacted the detail on the front of the Mini, or on front of the figure. But overall, for what it is, I think it's fantastic. Maybe some more play on the pauldrons would have been great, and maybe seeing a tilt or a pivot on the backpack that would allow for some really dynamic poses as well. I wasn't expecting it like a double section ab crunch. I really wasn't expecting that. And also it'd be great if they made it a little bit more modular, because I mean obviously these things are meant to be painted. I'd be highly surprised if anybody that picks these up doesn't paint them. So just being able to disassemble it a little bit easier would be nice. I mean it's not particularly difficult to do, but there is that risk factor that you're going to damage the figure. But yeah, overall, have you picked this up? If you have, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be really interested to know. As you know, if you've not already, please do subscribe. What I want to do is make high quality content and give something back to the community that's given me so much. And I think that's it for this time, guys. All that's left to be said is, you guessed it, if you're going to do crack, make sure it's plastic. See ya! What we told you, stop playing with yourself.